You know, I think most people support the idea of healthcare reform. I think that the problem with this bill is that there are so many backroom deals. I mean, they're currently right now still discussing this out of the view of the people. And I think that the will of the people is what slowed this bill down, thank God, because otherwise it would have been passed last summer. And I think that when you talk about the kickbacks to Senator Nelson and Louisiana Purchase, those were in the first Senate bill, which I believe you supported. So when you say you don't support them now, why did you vote for them in the first time around?
About 100 provisions that were very important. I believe that many of them were overriding importance for the country, and I made it very clear that I did not like a couple of those things, and that I did not intend to vote for a final bill until they were taken out. We don't have a final bill, and we are getting rid of them. The President's made it very clear. Those special deals are coming out. They're not going to be in the legislation. Laura Halberstadt, followed by John Willock.
Thank you. Today is my daughter's 3rd birthday, and to be a good mom, I felt I had to be here to help protect her future. You say you are fiscally responsible and a defender of the Constitution. How can you support the health care bill when it forces everyone to purchase health insurance? How can you constitutionally force people to do that and justify the cost of it, knowing the bill uses 10 years of revenue, cuts to Medicare, and new taxes to cover 6 years of costs? That is fuzzy math, and it is completely unsustainable. What is wrong with working with Paul Ryan on a market-based that covers the same amount of people, but does not add to the tax burden? And I also want to add something on the reconciliation. Senator Byrd was the one who wrote the bill that created the rule for reconciliation, and he says it's being used for the wrong purpose.
Paul Ryan on a number of issues. He and I came up with the idea of a limited line item veto for the president, which we call the Janesville line item veto. I don't agree with him on everything, though, and I respect him. We get along very well, but you know, his plan, he's very honest about this, calls for people who are 55 and under will no longer be eligible for our current Social Security and Medicare system. You know what? I'm going to oppose him with every ounce of my strength on that.
Yes, sir. I had to write it down because it doesn't fit on my hand. I don't have a teleprompter.
I can't hear what he's saying.
That's okay. Well, Racine, Senator Feingold, thank you for the opportunity to speak my mind. I've been working, man, for all my life, always paying my taxes, paying my Social Security, Medicare for the last 35 years. Social Security was signed into law in 1835, and the taxes have been collected on it since 1937. The federal government has had 75 years to get Social Security right. It is now $7 trillion in the hole. Medicare was passed, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but Medicare was passed July 30th, 1965, and we were able to sign up for it in 66. I've been paying into Medicare for 35 years. The federal government has had 44 years to get it right. Medicare deficit, according to the Medicare trustees' intermediate assumptions, is $38,260% of the current GDP would have to be needed at year-end 2008 to fund it over the next 75 years. The projected shortfalls. It is impossible for me to support yet another federal government program that doesn't fix the immediate problems that I have already paid for. With all due respect, sir, if you vote for this monstrosity, I will vote to fire you in November.